NRW, Nerds Rule the World. My pal Heather. We just got out of the press screening for Jurassic World Rebirth. Initial thoughts coming out, Heather.
Don't bring your children, and definitely don't let them play with an iPad while they're watching. But other than that, fun, cute, had a sweet story. Wasn't Jurassic Park though. Even though it tried to be. So
okay, we're gonna have a full review. My quick thoughts coming out.
He had some hating words when he stood up to say that.
I didn't hate it. I had a good time. It's popcorn fun. I hadn't seen the last one, but yeah, who watched the Minion? I don't know anybody that watched the Minion. Maybe she watched the Minion, but yeah, I got some thoughts. There was just some things. It was actually too Jurassic for me. They tried to make it very Jurassic with some certain moments and songs, but we'll talk about it on our full review because we're almost at the minute. Nerds Rule the World. Heather Hurt Creepy. Look for the full review, y'all. Peace.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the NRW, where Nerds Rule the World. I'm Heather Hurt. That's Kuya P. And we pay attention to ratings before we go into films and take our families.
She's got a lot of feelings on that, people. Make sure you're watching the ratings.
I will talk about it for this movie because it is a pertinent piece to it. With that being said, let's see the trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist.
Sorry, what mission?
This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God. Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less?
He's your guy?
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
Look up towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Maybe we should make it quick.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst were left here.
Come on! Duncan!
We put ourselves in a place we don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
What the hell are those?
They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
Jurassic World Rebirth is a new arc inside of the Jurassic World portion of Jurassic Park, the franchise. The film is rated PG-13, and I will talk about that more. It's rated PG-13. So if your child is afraid of large creatures that might eat you, and then after about 3.5 minutes, scream and cry that they want to go home, please get up and leave the theater so that other people in the audience can enjoy the film. Okay? And I'm not going to stop talking about this. Parents, it's your responsibility to take care of your children in theaters so they don't get traumatized by giant dinosaurs. This film is another part of the ongoing story of the continuation of of Jurassic Park. This takes place about 2 decades, I think they said 17 years or something like that, after the last Jurassic World franchise ended. At this point, the dinosaurs are they're dying. They are going extinct for a second time. Our Earth, as we know, scientifically is not made for dinosaurs. So what they are doing is that a small group of people are going into an illegal area where dinosaurs are still thriving and are trying to get DNA samples. Most of this is in the trailer. We're going to not spoil. We don't want to piss off Universal. We're not going to do that. But this is in the trailer. Don't get mad. They're trying to get DNA samples for something scientific. And they have to go into this treacherous island where there are hybrids of dinosaurs because I want to say more because the trailer might be saying things that are or are not true. So I want to say more, but I can't. So with that being said, we're just going to go straight into who is in this film. And we're going to talk about the who, the what, the when, and the where. It was directed by Gareth Edwards and written by David Koepp. And of course, it's based off of the Michael Crichton series. The cast featured Scarlett Johansson. Once again, I'm always surprised when a tree can be anything. Though, to be fair, we're going to talk about how well the tree does in this one. Who plays Zora Bennett? Jonathan Bailey plays Dr. Henry Loomis. Rupert Friend plays Martin Krebs. Wow, I'm really doing good on names here. Mahershala Ali plays Duncan Kincaid. Then we have Manuel Garcia-Rulfo, who plays Rubio. Luna Blaze, who plays Teresa. And we have Adriana Miranda, who plays Isabella. Of course, it takes an entire village. It actually takes a small country to make a film of this magnitude. We do not want to disrespect, but we do have to move on, unfortunately. But we do want to respect that it takes literally a bazillion humans to make a movie of this size. So major props to the cast and crew of this film. With that being said, we're going to jump right into the review. Kuya, let's not talk about the film itself because I know you and I have a lot of thoughts about this movie. Let's talk only initial thoughts now.
Initial thoughts, another Jurassic Park movie? Do we need it so soon? It just feels like every summer we have to have one. So I was kind of really, and I'm a fan of the OG one. The other one started to slowly fumble. Sorry. They couldn't recapture the mystique. For me, couldn't recapture the mystique of the first one. It just seemed like, again, like what we all know with everything, cash in on the franchise. A story like Jurassic Park is a one and done tale for me, if you will, and then maybe let it chill for a while and then do it. With the consecutive rollout that happened after the first Jurassic Park, because again, it blew a lot of people's minds. It blew my mind, but it just felt so quick and like they were just trying to do more. And that never stopped, literally, since the original Jurassic Park. So yeah, man, it just got old for me. And like, wasn't feeling it. And especially with Chris Pratt, who, we loved him at first until we found out how much of an idiot he was. So
hard fall from grace.
Yeah, exactly. So like, fuck Chris Pratt. So like, I wasn't supporting those. So here we go with another relaunch. I like ScarJo, although ScarJo has her problems. Mahershala Ali, brutalizing the name there. I'd rather see him in Blade, but I'll take him here. He's different in this, so I'll give it that. But I was coming in with low expectations. Those were my initial thoughts. So you can only go up from here with me in regards to Jurassic World Rebirth.
I had a lot. I was very much on the same page. I think most critics and most fans were kind of at the same page. The first question is why? Do we really need this? No, we really didn't. And then the second part for me, I love her given name is Rexy. I call her T. Without our heroine of the entire franchise, why the fuck would you make a Jurassic Park movie? That's my thing. T is living, as far as we know, she's living happily on the just above the equator in, I think, Asia as of Jurassic World Dominion. So why the fuck would you have a movie without the number one hero in the franchise? And why do you have to go to the point of DNA manipulation and all of these really weird things that we clearly see in the film? And we might do, as we've done in the past, we might do a small spoiler bit after we finish out the first part of this, because I do have some words about the main villain in this film that's not human. But we can talk about that after. With that being said, I was kind of with KP. Why the fuck do we need this? I'm a huge fan. Jurassic Park is my husband's favorite movie of all time. So with that being said, we were both like, why? And to me, why? If no teeth, no nothing. So with that being said, we're going to go now into the full review. Once again, this is spoiler free. If we have any spoiler comments, we will say it after we close out for the main video, and then we will come back. But this is a spoiler free trailer. Let's talk the actors. Let's kind of segment this out, because this is supposed to be one of the biggest blockbusters of the summer. Kuya P, what were your thoughts on the cast? What were your thoughts on the cast?
I thankfully it's not Chris Pratt again, you know. And then although I wouldn't mind what's her name, redhead that was in the previous incarnations. I like her.
Frick.
I'm forgetting her name. But yeah, just F all things Chris Pratt. But ScarJo, I didn't mind. Although they were really working to keep it PG for everyone, because she's wearing a tight body shirt, getting nonstop wet. You know, they were just doing their best so they wouldn't show any kind of moisture anywhere. So I give it to them trying to, you know, but come on, people, let's be real. You know, come on, things get wet, things start to show, but they were really trying to keep it PC for the audience. Just saying, you know. But you know, ScarJo was good, but she's in like everything, you know, and so it's like, okay, Mahershala Ali, different role for him. See, he's acting somewhat different, but I don't know. It's just interesting to see the two of them playing off together. They made it work, but I don't know. I wouldn't say it's their best work, and I don't know if I like them in the character roles. You know, ScarJo's supposed to be a mercenary. We believe her as Black Widow mercenary, but in this, she's kind of half mercenary, half this bombshell. Cheerleader. Like, it just don't fit right. And then Ed Skrein, I'm probably brutalizing his name. He's got a very punchable face, but he's such a bigger actor that he's kind of throwaway, if you will, and I'll leave it at that. Rupert Friend got a very punchable face. We get to punch his face a little bit later on. I could really care less about the main cast, to be perfectly honest. And I love, you know, Ali. You know, he fit. I would have really been upset towards the end, but I will leave that alone there. But things changed. Again, ScarJo, it was kind of just filler. It's like, you know, she didn't really have to do much. But there's this Latin cast of family members that really were a side story that I felt in love with more. And that carried me through the rest of the film. But I thought they were great and well cast, especially the young daughter. She was remarkable. They really, from a cast standpoint, to your question, Heather, really got me glued into caring about the people involved in this, because really you want to see people die. Big dinosaurs, little bitty meat packets. You want to see the meat packets get eaten by these dinosaurs. And the family, they had me going to like, please keep the family together. Although there's this boyfriend, I'll just leave it at that. He makes you go up and down on regards to your feels with him. And I'll just leave it at that. But, you know, there you go. That's my feelings on the cast. How about you, Heather?
I will say that with the boyfriend, what I agree, the ups and downs, he is the most up and down character throughout this film. But I do think that the young man who plays him, David Iacano, did a wonderful job making you not sure what you want from that character. I thought it was wonderful. I also think that his character was a really important message in the film.
Agreed.
The messaging in this movie, once again, we'll do the real review in a second, but he was an important message for this film, especially to dads who have teenage daughters with boyfriends.
This guy right here.
But with that being said, my feelings for this cast, I agree. Manuel Garcia-Rulfo was probably one of the strongest characters in this film, who played Ruben, the dad. He was probably the strongest acted character in this film. That, and of course, the youngest daughter, Adriana Miranda, who played Isabella like a freaking champ. Absolutely loved her as a character. Though I will say that she became the cliche young child who found the adorable animal. They had to have the adorable animal in this film. I was waiting for it. I think everyone's going to wait for it. I was underwhelmed, to be quite honest. But when it came to they were supposed to be, as Kuipi said, they were supposed to be the side hustle of the film, and they became kind of the only reason I really stayed to watch the movie. I wanted to make sure that they lived, and I'm not saying that they do or don't, but that was the main reason I stayed. Like, I wanted to make sure that the characters I loved did not die, and well, you'll see it and you'll know. I can't tell you, but anyway, it's a Jurassic Park movie. What can you say? Sometimes things happen. But the main stars, the big names, none of them caught me. Zero of them caught me. Ali is probably one of my favorite actors in this current day, and his character felt underpowered. Scarlett Johansson didn't seem like she. Scarlett Johansson didn't seem like she was taking the role seriously at all. And like, part of her character is supposed to be kind of the cool under pressure kind of character, but I just feel like she was not acting or caring for this role. I will say that Rupert Friend, he played the exact character he needed to play. But also, with that being said, you knew it because of what the character was. You knew immediately what was going to happen. And with that, I think I'm going to shift it straight into the review, if you're okay with that.
Let's go. Because
my opinion of this movie is that they had a 30-minute story that they turned into a 2-hour film. I love Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park. And this movie was deeply underwhelming. They did not take advantage of characters. They did not take advantage. They were using very stereotypical storylines, very cliche arcs, especially for the Jurassic franchise, and they did not utilize them correctly. It was kind of benign at most. Yes, they did use the music wonderfully, as they do in most of the movies. You knew when someone was going to die. You knew when someone wasn't going to die. You knew when all of the happy feelings were going to happen. I think that was one of QEP's biggest complaints, was that they tried
that's my biggest negative. Like, well, I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off.
No, you're good. I'm sure QEP will get into the use of the soundtrack, even though it played exactly how the movie was going to go, exactly how the franchise would go. But the thing is that I think that was too safe. And that's actually a theme to a lot of our reviews lately is, are they playing stuff too safe? And I think that what they did, and it made it really boring, they made this movie too freaking safe. They played to every single stereotype of a Jurassic Park note, and it was boring. And the one thing that I will say that will spoil, I will leave at the end, and that's about the big baddie. And yes, I am deeply disappointed that they brought in whatever the fuck dinosaur is. T-Rex is behind QEP right now.
The D-Rex.
No. We're not talking about the D-Rex. We're not talking about the D-Rex. We're talking about the regular T-Rex that's behind you right now.
Yeah.
That is not T. It is not T. And so with that being said, it wasn't a movie that I even cared about because it did not have the true hero of this franchise. QEP, what were your thoughts?
All right. So, man, I'm already flustered trying to get my words together. It was popcorn cheese. I like I said, if you saw my initial thoughts, which is probably going to be encompassed on this video as well, because I've been kind of editing it into there now to start us off. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it at all. And I went in with low expectations, as we said earlier. There's some cool moments, but it's getting to those moments that I didn't care about the leads. I cared about this family once it finally came in there. But when we introduce that family, there's a great sequence that brings in that family. And then again, you're already hooked, line, and sinker and caring about what happens to this family. And what I pointed out earlier, and that I almost have to interrupted Heather, is because this is part of the Jurassic Park franchise, Jurassic World franchise, they had to do the beats that we know as Jurassic Park. Music, specific type of moments, fog on glass, the baby dinosaur. Like, we have to have these bullet points to make it a Jurassic Park film. No, you don't. And that's what ruined the film for me and brought it down. Again, I don't hate the film, but to me, we've had so many of these films. You can come up out of that aura now. That's what this thing was supposed to be, a rebirth. Let's get out of that vein. Let's rebirth this thing and just move on to new territory. And that's what took me out of the film, because they play the music to get that emotional feel out of you, because they know that that's what that music can do. And when we have a certain type of conversation, to get characters inspired or motivated and blah, 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 you knew what was going to happen. And that fucking took me out of it. And yeah, that was what was bad about the film for me. And again, I should care for the lead cast. I shouldn't have to go with the secondary characters. But there were some great moments. Again, there were some great moments, but you had to get to those moments, and it became predictable, especially with the isms of bullet points that make it a Jurassic Park film. And that took me completely out of it. But yeah, it's a popcorn film. Will I watch it again if it's on TV? Yeah. I'm not. Am I going back out to the theater to see it? Most likely not. Yeah, I'll watch it if it's on, but I'm not rushing to see it. I'm definitely not rushing back to go see Dominion and all the other Pratt films. I never cared for them. Won't care for them. Although sometimes I feel like it, because you expect that with Jurassic films. Ever since the very first one, these are action epics, big screen, roaring dinosaurs. Who doesn't love that shit? We love roaring dinosaurs. But yeah, that's my vibe, and that's my feels. I'm kind of here with a thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, if you love dinosaurs, I recommend it. If you love cool sequences, there's some very Jaws-like elements. Shout out to Gareth Edwards, who I believe was the director on this, who's done some other great work. You could see his love for it, but also I think that love for the makeup of previous Jurassic Parks, he shouldn't have done that. He should have made his own thing with it, but I guess he wanted to put his love stamp from the previous work, and to me, ruined the film for me.
To go off of that statement, though, I actually think that if you love dinosaurs, you should not see this movie.
Ooh, and why, Heather? Is it because we didn't talk mutated dinosaurs? I'm sorry.
We'll talk about the mutated dinosaurs. A little bit of a spoiler. They did talk about it in the trailer, but that's something that we will bring up in the second part. We will talk about the D-Rex. We'll talk about other things. We'll do it won't be long. If you want to stay, if you've already seen the film, or if you're okay with spoilers, stay until the very end. We'll talk a little bit about the mutations. But with that being said, no, it's as you see in the trailer, the dinosaurs are dying off. Our world is no longer viable for them. It's not their world. That literally, there's a reason they died off. With that being said, this isn't actually a dinosaur-heavy movie. One of the things that my husband said that when he walked out is, "I wish there were more dinosaurs." And when I say that, to go off of what Koepp also said, if this movie was a made-for-TV film, if it was a made for Paramount Plus, if it was a made for, I don't know where they are right now. I think the Jurassic Parks are on Netflix, because Universal doesn't have their Universal doesn't have their own. So whoever has Jurassic Park right now, if they put it straight to streaming, I think my review of this film would have been far greater, because this felt very made for TV.
I would say that
me.
too, yeah.
And because it didn't feel fulfilled, and I also do not think it needed to be a 2-hour film. They could have made this into a 1.5-hour film, and it would have been, I think, a little bit better. But once again, this was a 30-minute film that they dragged. With that being said, Koepp, final thoughts before we close out and then do the spoilers.
What I learned from this film is clean up after yourself. If you're eating something, things can be prevented. Just clean up after yourself. And then, and also, don't hire Chris Pratt. And maybe give something for Ali and Scarlett to chew on better, maybe. I don't know. It was cool. It had some moments. Those are my thoughts.
Okay. All right. My final thoughts are, if y'all know us, we always give you the truth. Please wait. Just wait for this to hit streaming. Like I
don't know if I'd say that though. I don't know if I'd say that, because this is a cool film in the theater. If you have the income, if you have the expendable income. To me, the Jurassic movies are theater movies.
If you enjoy dinosaurs, if your kids enjoy the franchise if they are old enough to enjoy the franchise. Oh, this is actually something I did want to add this. There were elements of horror. They did try and take it back to those more suspenseful, horror-y parts of the original Jurassic Park franchise. There was I actually said the very first part is more Alien, like right out of freaking textbook Alien. And I think that's what terrified that small child.
Agreed.
So parents, once again, please do your due diligence. But if your children are okay with this, if you have family that loves this, I mean, I was going to see this. I was going to see this in theaters no matter what. Once again, this franchise is my husband's favorite franchise. Some movies are just good to enjoy. But to me, when it comes to straight up criticism, straight up critique, this is a stream film. But I'm not saying don't go and enjoy it. Go and have popcorn and enjoy a silly dinosaur movie. Absolutely. All right. With that being said, if you agree, if you disagree, if this makes you want to see the movie more, if our bad opinion makes you want to see
Kuya and Heather. We want to make our own opinion. That's all right.
Exactly.
Make your own opinion.
Okay. Tell us in the comments below, like, subscribe, share, and once again, wait until after the credits and we will have a small amount of spoilers for you. But please only watch that if you are absolutely 150% okay with spoilers, or you have already seen the film. With that being said, we will see y'all soon.
Peace.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like nerds rule the world. Like, I want more black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, nerds rule. Love
it. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes, nerds rule. Yes.
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
So much.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
Do. They rule the world, all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.
The fucking D-Rex. Let's talk about what is it?
Tell us how you really feel about that, Heather.
Fucking
D-Rex. When I first heard that, I was like, "Is there like a hip hop dinosaur we're gonna find out now?" Because it reminds. I think there isn't even a rapper named D-Rex.
I think there is a rapper named D-Rex. So what we are talking about is the deconstructed DNA, manipulated DNA T-Rex, which is the true villain, the true dinosaur villain of this film. I'm going to do some comparing and contrasting. As we said in our review, this movie felt very much like it was trying to copy and paste certain elements from Jurassic Park, like the OG Jurassic Park. And so much of that is what happens with the D-Rex. We do not see T for very much of the original film. She does get a good chunk in the middle and a good chunk at the end, but really T-Rex is only seen, Rexy is only seen for about 15 minutes of the totality, 15-20 minutes of the totality of the Jurassic Park film. D-Rex is supposed to replicate that. He is the new big baddie. He is the new manipulated, ugly-ass T-Rex that's supposed to be just this amalgamation of all of the DNA manipulation that's been happening on this island, which, by the way, it's not the original testing facility. It is the testing facility for the Jurassic World Park, which I like that they kind of redirect you in the trailer for that. It's the original testing. No, it's not. It's not. This is them trying to make new and fun things in Jurassic World. D-Rex is not only the dumbest thing that they could do in a franchise for me. The fact that it looked like a goddamn xenomorph mixed with a freaking Rancor. Yes. It's mostly a fucking Rancor.
That's how we got Rancors. Heather, you gonna know that?
It's
tied to that franchise now.
In a galaxy far, far away, a long, long time ago. We see that creature for a whopping 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You've got all the cliches of, oh, it's hidden in the smoke. You see it walk in the shadows. You got all this, but a vast majority of this 10 to 15 minute period, it is not like the T-Rex of old. It is not like this terrifying monster. It is this slow moving. If I will say it's 15 minutes. I will give it a long time of 15 minutes on set. 12 minutes of those are just walking. What a fucking buzzkill of a climax. And I hate to be so rude because I know so many people were so hard on this movie. And
they didn't kill it, right? It walked away. It just walked away, right?
It walks slowly away. Like, you have all this hype for these new and exciting dinosaurs, some of which are really fucking cool. The new raptors are pretty fucking awesome, personally. I think they look pretty cool. Some of the CG, as with most everything, does feel a little bit rushed. Pay your creative.
This scene was dope.
This scene was dope, yes. And also another example of why we love the family so fucking much. But it's one of those where I was so disappointed with how they utilized the big bad dinosaur, and they were trying to replicate something they never should have replicated. We didn't need it. It was a lot like the question of, if you took Indiana Jones out of his own movies, would he have done any different? No, he wouldn't have. But with that being said, if you had taken him out of this film, you wouldn't have had anything. It wouldn't have mattered. You wouldn't have needed him. We didn't need it. It was so worthless. But that is my 5.5 pennies for people that worked very hard. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so rude. But it just seemed worthless and time consuming. And once again, if he wasn't there, there would have been no difference to the movie. Other than that last scene where we finally got to see Ali do a little bit of acting that was worth it. Other than that. So
about pissed me the fuck off.
Yes, you did.
If they would have killed the lone brother, well, there was another French cat who they obviously gonna kill off. He was
doomed.
That brother was
doomed
gonna
from the start. He was doomed from the start.
And you obviously weren't gonna kill the Latin family.
Yeah.
As a person of color, I'm like, here we fucking go, is what I was feeling inside. Okay. You're gonna kill off Ali, and the whole time I'm like, throw the fucking flare. I was getting mad upset, but no, he had to go out like a G, like a hero, which, okay, respects. But at the same time, no, we're not letting the lone person of color die outside of the Hispanic family. But they're not killing the Hispanic family. Again, we knew they were going to survive. Mm-hmm. But you're going to do this to me? You're really going to do this to me with Ali? Then they corrected the course corrected, but then it felt just lackluster, to your point. Mm-hmm. You have this big dope monster who just fucking walks away, and now we're just gonna end it with us driving off into the sunset. No water creatures anymore, dinosaurs in a smaller boat this time, that took them out the first come around. So just making nonsense of the whole story any damn way, because they should have still been hungry, waiting for people till they can munch on them. That's how we got into this situation in the first place. Correction, it was a rapper, but that's decades ago within the film. Anyway, I'm sidetracking for the people that have seen this film already now. What the fuck? There's just so many nonsensical story bullshit that we're just gonna twist because it's a movie. We can't have a movie unless we go dumb on some of the own things that we've established in this film. Like, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, again, not a terrible movie, not a great movie. It's a popcorn cheese ass movie that at least we don't have fucking Chris Pratt anymore. Because
you really feel.
There you go.
I'm just angry that we didn't get more. If you're going to make a big baddie like a fucking D-Rex, you might as well use them, and then you just don't. I'm going to slowly walk to the light. Slowly.
Yeah.
I also, to be fair, like, I thought some of the kills were fun. They were very cliche. We knew they were going to happen, but also I was kind of disappointed. You knew exactly what was going to happen to every single person.
Yeah.
You knew it.
And we were just waiting for them to go. I was almost ready for the boyfriend to go, but he redeemed himself.
He did. We didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about the importance of the message. The two big messages in this film were support, capitalism bad. Capitalism bad.
Yes.
Which is a very important message. The government.
I was happy with that. I like that they did that.
I like the messaging in this movie.
But then it became obvious. Of course she's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Of course she's gonna do it.
But we have to talk about him for a second. We do need to talk about him.
And
but the other message.
Okay, let's talk about who is this actor? I don't think I've ever seen him before.
Let me finish. We can talk about that in a second. But one of the big things the other message is that you can be more than what your appearance is, and that's one thing that I really did like with the boyfriend. It's he was living the stereotype of he was living what people assumed of him because he thought he had to, and I love that he was able to surpass that. So I really like that. All right. Now let's talk about Jonathan Bailey, who I've definitely seen before. I don't remember where the fuck I've seen him. But I want to see what
he's done, because I don't know this guy.
I know I've seen him somewhere. Bridgerton. Oh, Wicked.
Oh, Wicked. He's the love interest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where it is. Sorry.
Okay.
I knew that. Fucking Wicked. Okay. Yes, he's Prince Fiero. One thing that bugs the living shit out of me, and this character is fascinating, but he went from this terrified, meek little museum scientist to I'm down to jump off mountains and I'm okay going against. There was no
transition, no boost up, just automatically okay. Now I'm a badass.
Yeah. It's I'm going to eat an Altoid and all of a sudden I'm all right going on this deadly mission. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, all we're doing is complaining in this part. All right. Kuyopi, any final spoilers before we close out?
Clean up after yourself, y'all. Just clean up after yourself and defy stereotypes.
Okay.
Defy stereotypes. Clean up. Those are the underlying messages in this popcorn cheese ass film. Just clean up after yourself and defy stereotypes. But
if you're not going to clean up after yourself, at least enjoy the fact that you're hanging out with dinosaurs. That's my opinion. All right. With that being said, we are truly done. Jurassic World. Oh, we didn't say this before. Jurassic World arrives in theaters on July 2nd. Go watch it if you are interested, or wait till it hits stream, whichever you prefer.
Or hopefully you've already seen it, because we just spoiled the shit out of it.
We just spoil it, like everything, all the important shit. So hopefully you've seen it already. So we'll talk to y'all soon.
All right.